Hi, welcome. Please let me know if you can hear me. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Thank you for joining on the Wednesday weekly live. Today, I wanted us to focus on limiting beliefs with money or mindset issues that are affecting us, charging what we feel like we deserve or we are worth. So I just want to know you can hear me so that I can get into it quickly, and hopefully I can give you, not hopefully, I know I'll give you value. Hi Lucy, thanks for joining. Let me know if you can hear me, girl. You know, these tech issues, I can start rambling over here and then nobody can hear me. So I just want to be sure. Yeah. Thank you, Susan, for joining. I've missed you. Thank you for joining. It's the end of the month. It's the end of the first quarter. I don't know how it has been for you and your business. How has the first 3 months of 2022 been? What are you planning? How are you planning to strategize for the next quarter? What are you going to do in the next 90 days to increase your income, double your income, increase your impact, and double your impact? One of the best ways of doing that, obviously, is to increase your pricing. Increasing your pricing is a very how do I say, it's a growth, it's a predetermined growth for business. You cannot charge the same price forever. So the thing that inspired me to start this session today was two things. So the first thing is I get a lot of VAs who come to my inbox from all over the world who want to, offer their VA services to me because I am a coach and we engage. What I noticed was VAs would like, I would get pricing from $5 an hour to $40 an hour, and for the same services, and I wouldn't understand. So I started noticing most people who are not from the West, like from Africa or Asia, would charge lower, and they would say, "Oh, it's because we are from this country, so." Thanks. We are from this country, so we are charging lower because we don't need a lot of money. And honestly, that just hit me like the way Will Smith slapped Chris. Well, that was like a slap on my face because I was like, what has your origin country have to do with the service that you are offering? Like, that didn't make sense to me. And I tried to tell them, you're not selling your origin country or your ethnicity, you're selling a service. So I don't understand how you can not value your service, or the value of your service is dependent on where you come from. So I would obviously get into conversations with some of them and try to explain to them and say, I'm not going to pay you less because you come from a certain country, because even though maybe rent might be cheaper, but I know healthcare is expensive. Yeah, so like for here, we don't have, healthcare is expensive as compared to other Western countries. So it doesn't matter. What matters is what is the return on investment with your service. So this really has been in my heart for a long time. And then the second thing is I got someone who was interested in my services, and they were like, I really love how you explain how to niche, and I want to hire you. Can you please help me? Can we have a small brainstorm? I was like, no problem. So we got on a Zoom call. And so usually in my niche, I start with how much money do you want to earn? Not even with my niche, with any session. That's the beginning of everything. I like, what's the money? What's your income? Is the income you desire each month or each quarter, or, in 6 months? And so she said she desires $7,000 each month. So I was like, how much is your offer? So her offer was, I think, like 250. So I was like, and she had a 9 to 5. So she wanted to, slowly leave her 9 to 5 and obviously focus on her business, but she has to match her salary or increase it, or else it doesn't make sense. So obviously, you have to reduce your prices because you're starting out, you don't have a huge audience. So it's much matter, more strategic to charge higher and give more value, because they need and then Facebook threw me out. I'm sorry. I was so pissed. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, so she was like, I'm not comfortable charging higher. I'm not comfortable charging that much. And I was like, why? Why are you comfortable earning a high salary, but you're not comfortable charging high in your business? And so that is what inspired me to say, I need a session with my group about that, because I know a lot of people here, when I explain about pricing and packaging, it's always like, oh, I want to work with 300 people or 400 people, 100 people, which is so difficult to work with so many people a month, unless you're doing a group thing where you're offering them as a group a service. But if it is an individual session, like someone mentioned, they would do makeup services for like 300 people a month. That's a lot of time. You're not in business to exchange time for money, and I'm going to explain why. So the things I'm discussing today are things I also have endured, or I have suffered, or I have gone through. I also was in that place where I was charging low. I wasn't charging my worth. I had to work with someone to recognize that was the issue and work through them. So I'm not here to tell you something that I haven't been through. It's something that I have been through, and also I am still working through. Okay, so I just want us together to understand that you really need to have a better money mindset in order to be able to charge what you deserve and you desire. Okay, you have to be confident in charging the amount of money of the value you're giving. So I don't know whether you've ever seen people in your industry who are doing the same thing that you're doing, maybe even something less sophisticated, but they are charging much more than you confidently. And you are wondering, why are they charging this much, or how can I be able to do that? It usually starts with, your relationship with money, your past relationship with money. So some of the limiting beliefs I have seen with my clients, and also some that I have, I'm going to just mention about 5, and then you can let me know in the comments whether you share the same, or you've been in that situation where you had the same, beliefs, and together we can work out on how you can get out of that, so that you can start charging your worth, so that you can start earning for the value that you're giving. So one of the most common things we hear is, you need a lot of money to make a lot of money. I don't know if you've heard that. You need a lot of money to make a lot of money. So some people would come to me and like, oh, I'm looking for capital. I'm not going to start the business until I get capital. So honestly, that's a limiting belief. That is not true. It's not a truth. It's a BS. You don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money. You don't need that. You need to exchange your skills, experience, and expertise, the value that you're giving your audience, for money. So, and you start with what you have. So I know sometimes you can have so many big dreams, but there's that fear of success or fear of failure that freezes you. You're like, if nothing is perfect, if I don't have this amount in the bank, if I haven't hired this amount of people, if I don't have an office, if I don't have the best phone, if I don't have this laptop, then I'm not going to start. And that is honestly something you need to look inward to work out, because that is not true. So many people have started multi-million dollar businesses with their phone. Yeah, just check how people are killing it on TikTok. It's not the money, it is the zeal, it is the hunger, it is the work, it's the grit. Yeah, so you don't need to to have a lot of money. Like some people will tell me, when I get a lot of money, then I will hire a coach, or when I get a lot of money, then I will do this. But all these coaches, even Tony Robbins, offer free free stuff. They offer free webinars and free information on YouTube. If you're not even implementing the free ones consistently, whatever you pay for will be like pouring water on a duck, because at the end of the day, you don't have that hunger, that commitment. That commitment to success is more important than I need to have the money. Some people have a lot of money and they don't do business well. Some people inherit a lot of money and squander it in business in like a year. So that's not it. You don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money. For example, if you want to do a product business and you don't have money to buy inventory, you can start offering it as a service. Yeah, if you are you want to be in the film industry and you want to make a movie, you can start by being a reviewer of movies in your genre that you like. You can start somewhere. Start with what you have. Yeah, so you need to understand that money is just, that's my son, guys. Money is just a language of value. It's a language of value. It's an exchange of value. Whatever you have can be valuable to someone, even if it is in its inception. Yeah? So focus on what skills do you have currently that you can exchange for money. What experience do you have currently that you can exchange for money? What is your social network that you can tap into to introduce you to people who can pay you money? Yeah? What resources do you have currently? So if you have the internet and you have, a phone, you have Wi-Fi, you have a phone, or you can always start with where you are at. Then they will meet you with where you are at as you grow. But if you're focusing on how much money I need before I start, girl, you're never gonna start. Let me know if that makes sense. So you don't need a lot of money to make money. You don't need to have money in the account first before you make money. Okay. And then, I know, I just go live and he wants to play near me. What do I do? mommy live. And then the second one is, it takes a long time to make money. Have you ever been told? I know growing up we used to tell you have to work hard for a long time to make a lot of money. And really that was the experience of our parents, but that's not our experience. Life is so different now. You don't need a long time to make a lot of money. You don't need years. Yeah, some people make money in 3 months. Some people make money as soon as they start. We have the internet. It's a new day. There's different ways of making money. There's different ways of meeting your audience all over the world. So you don't need to work hard for 6 years and 7 years. In fact, you need to review if that it is taking that long to make money and hi Teresa, nice to see you. Yes, hi Kelly. Nice to see you. Yes, you need to review and ask yourself, why is it taking me this long? What can I do? So you need guidance. So instead of saying it will take me a year to make $1 million, or it will take me 3 years to make 1 million, ask yourself, who can I hire to guide me to make $1 million in half the time, in a quarter the time? So you work smart rather than focusing on, it will take me 3 years. And focus on the work rather than the result. At the end of the day, if you do the work, you will be shocked that the $1 million is here. It starts with 100, and then it's 1,000, and then it's 10,000, 100,000, and then you're at $1 million, and you're like, how did I get here? But if you just focus on, oh my God, it will take me a long time, it kind of makes you a little bit lazy. You'll think you have so much time in the world to reach that point when you really can reach it so much faster and be successful so much quicker and impact people so much faster. So it doesn't take a long time to make money. So that's not true. It does not. So focus on the work, not on the time. Yeah? Focus on what you're doing today, right now, this week, this month. What are you changing? What's the growth? That's more important than, oh, it's going to take me a long time. Just because it took someone else a long time doesn't mean that's the same story for you. And then another one is, time is money. I don't know if you've heard this. Time is money. That is not true. Time is way, way, way more valuable than money. If you meet somebody who is like 90 years old and they're a billionaire, let's say like Warren Buffett, and you asked him, what if you would go back to 17 years old but you had $0 in your account? I can assure you, even without ever speaking to him, he would say yes, because I know I will have the wisdom, the skills, the hunger to succeed. I will do it. But he can never get back the time. You can never get back the time. So if you can never get back the time, why are you wasting time, exchanging your time for money instead of exchanging value for money? Why are you charging for hours? Why are you charging for in exchange for, an hour? This is the much I'm charging. You don't have enough time. So instead, you should focus on the value that you're offering. You should value your time more than you value that exchange for time for money. You should value that. You should really guard your time. You should really be selfish with your time, because you will never get it back once it's gone. So a lot of times, I remember when I started my business way back in 2009, my events marketing business, I really didn't value my time. I was giving my clients all my time. I would work on Sunday. I would work after hours. They would call me at 9 p.m. I would answer. There was no space. There was no boundaries. Honestly, looking back, you guys, I made so many mistakes, and you guys don't have to. You need to guard your time. You need to focus on how effectively am I using this time. Hi, Deborah. Thank you for joining. I have missed you, Deborah. It's been a while. Yeah? Why save? And some people will be like, I'm going to DIY. I'm going to DIY this. I can't afford, a money mindset coach. I can't afford a business strategy coach. So I'm just going to, wait until I get 2 clients, or I'm going to wait until September. And you're wasting time. And you feel like you're saving. For example, you don't want to hire me. Feel like you're saving, $1,500. And then you're DIYing for 3 years or 5 years. How much time have you wasted? How much is that worth? You really need to focus on what is income generating activities, what is giving you joy, because you're not going to get it back. So you need to have that mindset. Don't be a penny pincher. Don't be like, oh, I'm just gonna, I don't see why I should pay someone to clean my home. I'm just gonna do it because it's a waste of money. It's not a waste of money. It's smart money, and you are impacting another person. You're giving someone money, and it is helping their family. You're impacting them. If you can, you should give out that work so that you can concentrate on what you're good at. If cleaning is what you're good at and what you love, then by all means. But if it is not, it's not a waste of money to pay someone to do it. And especially as moms, we really want to be, super moms. We want to do all and above and beyond and try to be everywhere at all times. It doesn't make sense. Why can't I pay someone to clean my home so that I can spend quality time with my children? Why can't I pay someone to look into my business so that I can double my income in 6 months rather than struggling for 2 years? Like, honestly, it comes from something. You really need to understand your relationship with money has to change for money to start flowing into your life. And that's what I realized. I was working just as hard, if not harder than now, in the years I had my event marketing business, but I was charging so much less and working so hard and paying. You guys, I did everything. I was the messenger. I would hang posters. I would do all these things. I wish I knew what I know now then. I would have been, so much further. But it is what it is. Yeah? It is what it is. So, at the end of the day, why save money to DIY or to be like, oh, I'm saving it for a rainy day, and then the rainy day never comes? Yeah? One of the things I'm teaching my child is 3 ways we use money. So the first thing, when she gets some money, maybe she's given money by her grandma, or she has done some chores and I pay her money, she has 3 ways to do it. She has to spend it, okay? She has to spend it. We have to teach our children that spending money is not a bad thing. When we were young and you were told you have to save it and hold on to money, that is not true. Money has to circulate, okay? So she has to spend it, then she has to save it, and then she has to donate it. So whatever she has. So if she has $100, she has to divide it 3 ways, however she feels. How much is she going to donate? How much is she going to save? And how much is she going to spend? So it's not true. Time is not money. Time is a much more valuable resource than money. So do not exchange your time for money. Exchange value for money. Ask yourself, how effectively can I work qualitatively so that I have enough time to do other things rather than, spreading myself too thin. Some of us have a business and it's like it's even worse than the 9 to 5. We're working even harder. We're working up to night, and you don't want to hire a VA, or you don't want to hire a business strategist. You don't want to hire a mentor. You're just fumbling because you're like, oh my God, it's going to pay off one day. One day might never come. One day might never come. I'm sorry, but that's just the real. Let me know if this makes sense to you, if you are agreeing with what I'm saying or what your thoughts are. So I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. Okay. So here are the things that I used to suffer from, and I just want to share from my heart so that you know it is normal. Thank you. Thank you for that. It is normal to have a weird relationship with money. Nobody, especially, growing up, if you grew up like me, you grew up maybe with your parents struggling. My mom was a teacher. My dad passed away when I was 14. My dad's family was, mean to my mom. They took her to court for my dad's property. The case took years to solve, so it was a struggle. So when you grow up, yes, thank you, Winnie. When you grow up where there's scarcity with your parents, it kind of affects how you view money. I actually never spoke with my parents or my siblings about money. We've never had that open discussion about money, and that really affects how I do business. In my family, I'm the only entrepreneur. The rest are, most of them actually work in government. So it's a different kind of mindset that we have. I'm not going to sit and wait for someone to pay me. I have to plan. I have to plan my days off. I don't have to just say, oh, I'm going to take a day off and the money is going to come. Not that I'm saying government work is easy. I'm just saying it is different. So that really affected my relationship with money. I was very tense. I was very anxious when discussing with money. So I would go to a corporate organization like Deloitte and pitch very well. I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to do this. This is the return on investment, etc. Then they would just say how much or justify the cost or something like that. And I would feel just my stomach going into knots. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my, like the anxiety would just hit through the roof. I'm telling you the real, yeah? So I had to work with a money coach to understand. I had a traumatic relationship with money because money was not discussed. It seemed like it was scarce. So we had to save it. We had to be very careful. It was a taboo subject. I actually didn't know how much money my mom was earning until I was going to university, and I had to fill a form to say how much my mom, is earning as a salary. And that's when I knew. And when I knew, I didn't even discuss it with her. Like, it wasn't something that we openly discussed. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, or you come from such a home. We need to change that with our children. Let's discuss openly money. It's not this huge elephant in the room, actually. It's just a commodity. It's just energy. Yeah? So if you've been growing up, you were told things like money doesn't grow on trees, or the rich also cry. I was just telling my husband, we were told the rich also cry, but I feel like the poor cry much, much more. Because when I'm rich, I know how it feels. You can have some money to solve whatever problem, is going on with your life. But when you're broke and, your child is sick or you need this, it's much more painful. So the rich also cry, but the poor cry more, in my opinion. So, it's just false stories that we were told. And we're not blaming our parents. They didn't know any better. I'm sure their parents didn't teach them any good about money. We just need to change that for ourselves and our children. So you need to start speaking about money freely. I know some people, like when I was working 9 to 5, we never discussed how much money we were earning. And then only to realize later, like some IT guy sneaked into the backup server and found out how much everybody was earning. And then they realized one of the ladies was earning more than the supervisor, and it brought so much commotion because we didn't discuss how much are you earning. So even us as women, that's why we are earning less in corporate jobs. Even in business, we are demanding less money because we are not discussing openly money. We're not telling each other, this is how much we should charge. You shouldn't charge that low. Or if you're going for an interview, this is how much you should ask them to pay you. Yeah, we need to have open discussions about money. Yeah, they say do not lose money. Money is hard to come by. That's not true. You need to change that narrative. Money is not hard to come by. One of the books, I forget the name. It's one of a Japanese author. He says when you wake up every morning, you know for sure, for a fact, that you're gonna breathe in air. Nobody has to tell you. You know it. It's in your bones. You just wake up and you know air is gonna come, even though it's not a given. Some people die every day. Not everybody wakes up from their sleep, but for some reason we expect to breathe as soon as we wake up. As soon as our feet land on the floor on the bed, we expect to take in and inhale this deep breath of air. So he says that's the attitude you should have with money. As a business owner, you should wake up every day expecting to make money. It should be something that you really, it shouldn't be lack of luck. Yeah. Totally makes sense when he says, yes, we believe only the poor are humble. Yes. And rich people are humble. Humility has nothing to do with money. In fact, rich people are more humble or grateful because they understand the great responsibility they have. That's why you see all the, billionaires are also philanthropists. They are building schools. They are, impacting the poor because they understand the power of having that responsibility of knowing, having a good relationship with money. Yeah. So that Japanese author says you need to change your mindset and think of money just as you would think of air, because air is just energy and money is energy. Even though you don't know for sure if tomorrow you're gonna wake up, nobody knows. But it's like it's innate, it's in you. You just know I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna be okay. So think about that in your business. Use the tools that you have. Look for a money coach to help you heal your trauma so that every day you can expect to make money. You can expect to make money. It's not this alien thing, this thing that is so far removed from me. It's in me. It's me. I do it every day, just the way you would breathe. I'm going to get the title of the book and put it on the comments. It's a very good read. So recognize that money is a neutral thing. It can either be used or good or bad. Okay, right now we have a war, in many places like Ukraine, like DRC, like Yemen and Syria. They are spending money to buy weapons. Yeah, so at the same time, we have people who are doing so much good with money. People who are, building schools. People who are, giving back to orphanages. People who are giving, adoption stories. All that also costs money. Money has neither good or bad. It's neutral. It's how the person who has it uses it. And us, as good people, I am imagining all of us in this group are the good ones. We as the good people have the duty to make more money so that we can impact more good in the world, so that we can fight those people who have money and are doing it for the wrong reasons and are using the money for negative intentions. If, for example, if somebody starts a war and then you don't have money to counter that with anything, there's nothing at the end of the day, humility is not going to save you. So if you want to impact people, if you want to help more people, you need to make money. You cannot say, oh, I'm not going to charge people this much because it feels weird, or no, people are ready to pay you. Let them pay you so that you can do the good that you are meant to do for this world. Yeah? Hi, Fozia, welcome. So, recognize that money is neutral. Have an open discussion about money. It's healthy to discuss all aspects of money. All aspects of money. That's why I was like, save, spend, donate. We can, as she grows, we're going to talk about loss, when you don't reach your goals for money, what happens. Let's discuss that. I remember our parents would never discuss if they lost a job, if they lost money in business, if the business came down. They never had let's openly discuss that so that it's not this huge hidden topic. It's something that is just normal part of life. Like sometimes you can wake up and you choke and you have to have a glass of water, so it's not a good morning, but it doesn't mean every morning is going to be like that. Other mornings are going to be so awesome. The sun is going to shine on your face. The birds will be chirping. Everything will align. So it's the same. Let's have open discussions about money. You are in control. Money doesn't control you. Money doesn't control who you will be. You are the person who is, it's your essence. So you need to dig deeper and find yourself, recognize your awesomeness, your essence, so that whoever you are, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You remain the same good person. Thank you, Susan. I love it. Another issue I had was mind wrestling. I don't know if you have this with yourself. Just let me know. I used to have that thing that I would say, nobody would pay me for that. Nobody would ever pay me that much. Yeah? Oh my God, people I know would never afford that. Oh my God, they will think I am overpriced. And then I would say, oh, they will think I am greedy. They will think I am greedy. I don't know if you've ever said that when you're pricing for your business, your packages. I used to say that. I was like, oh my God, I can't charge too much. I don't want them to think I am greedy. Those are what we call assumptions. So your mind is wrestling with the price. You're not, the person you're selling to hasn't told you these things. You are imagining them, and imagining them, it's becoming bigger until it is controlling how much you're pricing, or even the people you're talking to. Let me know if that makes sense. Assumptions don't mean data. That's not data. That's not true. It's not evidence. Do you understand what I mean? There are people who pay maybe, I don't know how much, a million just to have. I saw it on I can't remember if I saw it on Forbes. Some rich Indian just had a wedding for a month. Like every day was a celebration for a whole month, and they locked down streets just for the wedding. And if you've been to India, you know there's so many poor people in India, like crazy poor. But that didn't deter him from spending money. So you can imagine the event planner got money, the decor person got money, the caterer got money, the DJ got money, the flight people got money, the hotel got money. Whoever was involved in planning that wedding was paid. So don't assume because maybe you're in a bad situation that your clients are also in the same situation. Does that make sense? It is the value that you can give. Don't assume because you don't have a good phone to write a blog, your client is gonna be like, oh my God, I'm not gonna pay you the value of the blog because your phone is weird. It's just the quality of the work. If the client loves the words that you're using in your blog and the words are transformative for their clients, then they will not even care what kind of font that you use. Those are just internal wrangles that you are having within. And I used to have that so bad, you guys. So bad. And then I would charge so much less. And then after that, I would feel so bad. I wouldn't even service the client as well as I would like, because I'd be like, I should have charged more. Especially, let me give you a story. I had a client who I was charging so less because he was like, you know, the way they get you, they're like, oh, I'm growing, so I want us to grow together. I can't afford you right now, but I want us to grow together. I was like, okay, let's grow together. So we worked 3 years, and my growth I didn't see any growth. I was still earning the same amount, even though I was, he was growing. His account was growing. When I got him, his account had about like $20,000, and then I started doing events for them. And by the time I was into 3 years, it was about maybe 10 times that. And I would say we need to discuss, now that things have changed, how much income you're paying me, and they would never get to the table, and I would still work like nothing is changing. And then someone else came and pitched to them a similar thing that I'm doing and charged like almost 10 times that I was charging, and they said yes. And I was so angry. I cried. I cried so bad. I was so depressed. I was like, how would they betray me like this? But looking back, I got what I asked for. Do you know what I mean? I got what I asked for. I was in my vibes. I was telling them I'm willing to work for free. I'm willing to work for less. So why would that change when that's how I started? So at the end of the day, I wasted so much time. I got so much anger, I had to work through, because I was like, they betrayed me. But honestly, I betrayed myself because I didn't have the money mindset that I needed to charge for what I am worth. Okay? So the solution is do your research. Do your research on who is your ideal client. Really be very clear on who can afford to pay you what you're asking for, who understands the value very quickly. So like, I'll go back to the housekeeping issue. If someone doesn't have money, housekeeping might be expensive. It might be a luxury. But if someone is a CEO or a bank executive, then housekeeping is a non-issue. They want to pay for that because they are busy, doing executive banking things. They don't have time to clean the house. So if you're talking to someone who earns probably less than 1,000, then you're charging them $200 for housekeeping. They're gonna be like, what? But if you're talking to a CEO who earns $1 million, then that's very affordable, even maybe cheap. Things like, I saw someone who has a business where they hire out housekeepers. So like, if these rich people are going on holiday and they hire someone to come and water their plants, clean their house, sit and feed the dog and things like that. Something I wouldn't even think would be a business, and it's actually $1 million business that she has. She has an app like an Uber where people hire house sitters. Sorry, they call it house sitters. So you just need to find who has a need that I can solve, and who can pay for the value for the need that I'm giving, instead of talking to people who probably are in the same boat like you and are like in a lower money mindset, and they're gonna be like, no, that's that's a lot of money, and discourage you, and you're not doing the right research. So talk to the right people. Make sure your data is correct. Make sure it's evidence based. So if you're talking to someone like which one can I use? Like you have today I used an example of someone who does website for hospitals. How much do hospitals make in a day? So if your focus is on hospitals and you know how much they make, then whatever you're asking for is of value, and you understand the return on investment. You're like, once I build this website, onboarding patients will be so seamless. They don't have to fill a lot of forms. Like us moms, when you go to the hospital, you don't want to have, a crying baby on your shoulder and you're being asked to fill 100 forms. You want it to be seamless. So if you can offer the solution for that, then charge for the value of how much time they are saving, how comfortable it will be for their patients, then you can charge that much. But if you're talking to people who don't need a website yet, maybe they're just starting out and they're like, oh my god, that's a lot of money, then you're gonna get discouraged. So be smart in your research. Let me know if that makes sense as well, guys. So another problem I had was win versus loss thinking. I don't know if you have that as well. So it's thinking that if someone buys for you, they lose. It's like it's a competition. Who will win? I remember people used to say, those marketing gurus, they used to say in a negotiation, in a price negotiation, whoever talks last loses. I don't know if you've heard that before. So I used to be like, oh my god, let me not talk last because I'm gonna lose. And honestly, I find that to be BS, because it's really it's just a normal human conversation. There is no under the table like wink things. It's just for people to understand what you're offering, to know that they need it, and then to be able to afford you. So if you're thinking like that and then you start feeling guilty when the client pays you and you want to go above and beyond. So once the client pays you, you're going above and beyond because you are like, oh my god, they did me a huge favor. You're not understanding that it's an exchange of value. It's an equal exchange of value. I'm not saying be unkind. I'm just saying understand that boundary. Understand that line so that you don't go over the edge. Yeah? So reframe your thinking and understand your value. Understand your value and the amount of money you are asking for in exchange for that value. And then the last one I'm going to talk about, hopefully. Yeah, I think that's the last one. Is your self-worth. So you grossly undervalue your skills, knowledge, and experience because I don't even know, you're not proud, or you undermine your expertise. You're like, but everybody knows that. Everybody knows how to potty train. Everybody knows how to housekeep. Everybody knows how to walk dogs. Everybody knows how to, let me use Teresa's example, how to work a business with ADHD. And you're like, this is normal. Everybody knows. Now, everybody doesn't know. Or even if they know, they don't want to do it. They can afford not to do it. So, you undervalue your expertise because you have, a traumatic relationship with your self-worth. So with this one, I don't even have a solution. You have to talk to a mindset coach. I'm not a mindset coach, I'm a business strategy coach. But I'm just pointing out, because when you come to me, we have to discuss price. So if you're discussing price and you are undercharging and you don't want to, price well for the value that you're giving, even if you, and you don't want to increase your prices, then there is something else that is at play, something internal, something in your mind that is preventing you from charging what you're worth. So I will go back to the example of the VS. Where you're from should not dictate how much you're charging. It's the value that you're giving. We have African football players who earn more than, European football players in the super, okay, Teresa calls it soccer players who earn more. It's not because they're African, it's because they're experts. So it has nothing to do with that. If that's how you think, you need to regroup. You need to ask yourself, what can I do to get yes, this mindset needs a business coach. Yes, Teresa, I got you, girl. You know that. Yeah, so you need to go back and ask yourself, why am I not charging my worth? Why am I thinking of myself so low? One thing that helped me with this was my child, my daughter. I always try to be the best example for my child. How are you going to ask your child to follow their dreams, to charge what they are worth, to understand their worth, when you yourself are not understanding yours, or are not seeking help to understand your worth? And our children don't do what we say, they do what we do. So if they say you're struggling, scraping, hustling, dying, then they will think that's normal, and then the same thing. We need to change the narrative. You have to be the first millionaire in your family. You have to change. You have to change millionaires out there. You and I. So recognize your brilliance. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your experience. Be proud of your whatever you have gone through to get to where you are, and understand that somebody needs that. Somebody is willing to pay so that you can pull them out of the hole that they are in. And don't undervalue what God has given you, your brilliance. And that's the only unique thing you have. All of us are the same. We do the same thing. We eat the same. We go to the toilet the same. The only thing is our innate brilliance. That's what the difference is that we have from other species. So I want you to really, this is something that is very dear to me. If you relate to any of these things, you really want to be able to talk to me about it. I'm not going to help in terms of giving you coaching, but I will point you in the right direction of somebody who can be able to assist you. Or if you can, seek assistance yourself. Do your research and ask yourself, why am I not charging what I am? Why am I thinking I should have to sweat and work hard and have blood, sweat, and tears before I can get money? And let me tell you one thing that I noticed: men are not like that. Men are not like that. I don't know why we women have been programmed to feel like we really have to sacrifice so much to be able to earn the same or even more. Yet we are way more brilliant. I'm gonna say we are way more brilliant. I have undercharged before, thinking it would be expensive. So you assume the client. Well, let me give you a tip, a business strategy tip. The best is to, before the client asks you for a quote, if it is something that you're not sure of, maybe it is not within your pricing package that you have right now, ask them, what is your budget? Ask them, what is your budget? Whatever they say, I usually charge double. Yeah. Start off with that. I usually charge double. Because saying no, you have a little bit of risk. When somebody buys a Ferrari, you treat them differently. When they're driving a Lamborghini, you treat them differently. When you're on a plane, you treat first class people differently. So I want you to feel in your life you are first class, even if it is a little bit day by day. Day by day. I know these changes cannot happen instantly, But if you work every day to change things with how you're viewing money, your relationship with money, start healing that relationship. It will go a long way, not only for you, but for your children. Yeah. So let me know if you have any questions with what I have said before I hop up. I hope this has been helpful and an eye opener for you. It was for me because I had money mindset issues for the longest. Like for the longest. I wouldn't do, you know, when I look back, I'm just like, no, now, nobody I know should have to go through this. I'll go to and like a job and I would say, oh my God, we only have this much. Can you just manage? I'll be like, okay. I wouldn't just say no, no, no. That's beyond. That's too much for what I offer. I know how good I am, and I know my return on investment, and I know how to effectively communicate that. So if you need help with pricing and packaging your offer so that you can charge what you are at, you need to understand the return on investment and to understand how you can effectively communicate to your ideal audience that this is the worth of the value that I'm giving you. Then please hop into my DMs, send me a message on Messenger, and let me know this is where you are at. We will have a 30-minute discussion where I will support you so that you can start pricing differently, packaging yourself differently, putting out messages differently that show that you are worthy of how much you're charging. Oh, thanks, Teresa. Thanks, Winnie. Yeah, so if you have any issues with money mindset and you need help with a coach or you need more discussion, let me know. I will guide you to a person who I feel is a fit. Or you can even just share it in the group and let people know that you need help with whatever I have discussed in the comments. If you have an issue with pricing and packaging your offer, especially if you're a coach, consultant, and service-based entrepreneur, then come into my DMs or make a comment or share a comment on type a comment on the comment section, and then I will definitely get back to you. I hope you have a great Wednesday. We are going into Q2. What are your plans? How much money do you want to make? How much do you need to raise to reach your sales goal so that you can provide well for your family and contribute, to your children? You need to think, what are you going to do in the 90 days that are coming to change the money that you earn from January to March so that you can double it, so that you can triple it? Yeah, that's when now you want to talk to me about that. So I don't see any questions, guys. I love you so much for coming. I wish you all the best in a profitable week, a profitable new quarter, in a profitable month. God bless. Bye-bye.